So today we're going to be replacing the upper control arm and the ball joint on a 99 Honda Accord 4-cylinder manual, and this is everything you'll need. You'll need a 10, 12, 14, and 17 millimeter socket with the ratchets for both of them, a hammer, something to get the lug nuts off with, 14 millimeter combination wrench, pliers, and your new upper control arm. You can start by loosening the wheel nuts and jacking the car up. So we got the wheel off here, we got the car on jack stands, and this is why we're replacing the control arm. Because the ball joint is completely foobarred. So you need to remove the little clip that holds the ABS line, or the ABS wire, to the control arm. That's a 10 millimeter bolt. And that. And that just unhooks from there. Next, you remove the cotter pin. From the castle nut that holds the ball joint in to the steering knuckle. You can go ahead and remove the castle nut from the ball joint. This is too tight. Now you just got a jack and a 2x4, and you apply some upward pressure on the control arm, and you should just be able to hammer on the bolt in the middle. It should pop apart. Just like that. Since your whole axle thing can move, make sure you don't pull it out of the transmission, so be careful not to let this come out too far. Now all that's left are two 14 millimeter headed bolts there. So if one is conveniently between the coils of the springs, go ahead and take that one out first. Now if the bolt is going to come out and interfere with one of the coils on your spring, you come up here and you loosen these two 12 millimeters and these three 14 millimeters, and then the strut will fall down and you'll have adequate spacing to remove that 14 millimeter bolt to get the last part of this control arm out, since everything else is out now. So in this case we had to actually press up on the lower control arm to gain clearance for this last bolt, but then we got it all out. Don't put too much pressure on it because remember you're working in there. But at this point you're ready to install the new control arm. So you can see they're pretty much identical. This one is made by a brand called Ultra 8. There's part number there. Everybody needs it. This is for the right side, so it wouldn't be too hard to get the left side also. So once you get one side in there and threaded about finger tight, you can go ahead and do the other side. It's kind of hard because you got to get the bolt to line up from behind the shock absorber assembly. Make sure you got them both threaded in and started before you start tightening anything down. Once you got the two bolts on the back side of it tightened down to the torque spec of very tight, you can go ahead and line the ball joint up with the steering knuckle. Alright, so there's the insertion. Just tighten the castle nut to good and tight. Once again, no idea on torque specs here, so if you care you can look it up somewhere. And then once you have it tight, line up the hole for the cotter pin. Make sure you only tighten it to line up the hole. You never loosen it. Then you can install your cotter pin. and just bend that over with some pliers. Like such. So that it doesn't go anywhere. Then you can reattach the ABS control wire thing with that 10mm nut onto the shiny new stud on your new control arm. Tighten that up with a 10mm ratchet. Oops. And now you're ready to put your wheel back on. And there it is, all back together. Just do a mental check, make sure you remember to tighten all your bolts, and then go out and test drive it.